You cannot out-earn bad debt. Doesn't matter what your investments are, and doesn't matter what your returns are, you cannot out-earn bad debt. Me and my spouse had to go through this exact example in the sense that she loves to keep money in savings. She loves to keep money just for that cushion while still having some credit card debt. And what I try to tell her is just like, you're losing every month, every year that you do that. But until you actually put it in some real numbers, it's kind of hard to see because so many of us do this where we have this cushion of cash or money or whatever it may be over here because we want that savings, that nest egg to protect us. When the truth is, for her, an example, if she would just move the money over from savings to the credit card, she'd still have the credit card available if she wanted to have that emergency fund, nest egg, whatever it may be that she needs while she rebuilds her savings. But it is hard, almost impossible to do if you don't, take care of your high debt first. So that's what I want to run through today. Simple calculator that I have just to show you what we're talking about. In this case, we're going to use just common numbers. We're going to actually give someone 8% return on their investments. And we're going to actually say their tax burden from the federal to the state is 20% on their returns, their investment. This could be, some kind of note. It could be some mutual funds, whatever. But the tax rate on the gains, we're just going to say is 20%. So what that really means is of that 8%, they have spendable money of 6.4%. Because remember, in our example here, you have $10,000 investments and in credit card debt. So on $10,000, 8%, they're going to, in theory, get a check, let's just call it interest just to keep it simple, of $800. 8% of $10,000 is $800, but the government wants their portion of that. Anything that you make income-wise, the government's going to take something, especially like here in Colorado, the taxes are getting a little bit higher and higher. I see that all the time, and that's another thing we're going to go through in the future is if tax rates are going higher, your spendable income on your investments is going to get even lower, and you got to watch that. But in this case, we have 8% return, 20% tax rate, and she has a credit card that at the time was charged her 22.99%. So simple math. Let's just run through this. Her net after tax on her return is $640 or $640. That's what she gets to spend after all the taxes are gone. But on that $10,000, she is paying 22.99%, which means in rough numbers, she's paying about almost $2,300 going out. $640 coming in, $2,300 going out. So this is where a lot of people just get in a trap. They have this habit of making sure they keep their savings, but still have, these high cost debt. Even if it's 15, 16, even 8%, you're still losing every year at this. In this case, like I told her, is like, if you just switched everything over, moved everything over, paid it off, yes, you're not going to get that $640. You're not going to move your income into another tax bracket either. But now you're going to have that interest that you save. In this case, the $2,200 you're not paying in the credit card debt, and you can rebuild that savings fairly quickly. But now if you stay on this path, every year of keeping them separate, waiting for you to pay down that credit card, this is just the interest. You're still going to have to pay the principal down on the credit card. So that $2,299 is probably closer to $3,500 she's paying out just to get that balance down. And if she keeps paying the minimum payment, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is it's going to take her years and years to get that credit card paid off. And every year she's stacking on losses between the investment and the credit card. These are those little tricks you need to focus on first just to get yourself flipped around into the right positioning of bringing in more money, keeping more money in your life by making sure you don't confuse, having that nest egg, having that comfort level over here, because all it is doing is making your life harder. Because you can't take a return coming in of about 6.4% or whatever it is, you could put it into this calculator and be paying out more than that, especially a lot more than that. If we change this interest rate to 12% on debt on a credit card, still losing, $560 every year. But more likely what I see is people in that 22 to 24%. If it's a Home Depot, if it's a Best Buy, if it's one of those kind of stores, those rates are even 29 to 32%. And the difference really impacts your spending ability now. I want to get everything paid off, completed, so I can enjoy life, live life a little bit more. When you get that 55 plus, you really want to get to the point where you accelerate paying off any debt. And the first step is just getting into better debt. In this case, like I said, just moving her savings over is step one. But even if she didn't want to do that and she got a 0% card or a personal loan or HELOC and got that interest rate down, at least lower that gap. Put yourself in better positions on everything you do. Once again, it's all about paying the banks less, keeping more in your accounts. Simple things like this can really impact your retirement. We all want just more money in our lives to either use ourselves, have some fun with, just pay the bills, or help the grandchildren, the kids, whoever it may be, have more money for us. And it all starts with taking some of the money back from the banks and putting in our accounts. In this case, like I told her, you move this money over and in 4 or 5 years, you have your funds back and you have no debt. You leave it as it is, you're still sitting here 10, 20 years trying to figure this out. So let's clean this up. Let's make it easier. If you want, just put your information into a calculator like this, because just understanding, seeing the numbers where your actual return after taxes compared to your costs, because remember, we're paying credit cards, we're paying all that debt after we pay the government their money. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. We make some investments, but we have to pay them taxes. And then we have to pay all of our debt, credit cards, cars, student loans, with our after-tax money. So it's that smaller pool. So let's make that pool larger and get rid of these high-cost debt. We have all kinds of ways, strategies, but it all starts with really education and understanding how debt impacts you. Because I don't think my wife understood the impact here. Between $1,500 and really when you have to pay down that credit card, probably closer to $2,500 net going out of her account, out of her life. I think it's better to say out of your life, because really out of your account, sometimes people are just like, that's just the way it is. But when you take that out of your life, when you can't help those kids, those grandkids, or just take that trip, go for dinner, whatever it is, let's tighten this up. Let's make things better. But first of all, let's understand things like you can't out-earn bad debt. It's just kind of like the same thing with, a diet. You're not going to drop a lot of weight if you're eating a bunch of bad food. It's the same way here. You cannot out-earn bad debt. You can't be paying out more than you're getting for the same amount of money and think you're going to win. Let's win at debt. Now let's start this out by understanding what we're going against. The banks, the lending companies, they're not bad. They're just playing a different game than we are. We're trying to play the game of keeping more money, and they're trying to play the game of making some money. And we just got to find the right institutions, the right places to get debt at the lowest price we can so we can enjoy more. So remember, if you want to use this, the link will be below. Check out our other videos because we go through a lot of stuff about getting in the right debt, especially when you're in a retirement zone. There's a lot of people out there 55 and older who have credit card debt, who have, even student loans because they're helping their kids. But how do you crunch that down, pay the least amount, keep more? Because like I said, I have an example over here of $10,000. Some people are paying, $2,900 a year in interest, and some people are paying $400 a year. Check that video out, because you know what? That's what happens. Some people are just overpaying for the same amount of debt. So let's flip the switch so we can keep more money, and we'll catch you on the next video.